All right, hey, Merry Christmas 2018, everybody. Today we're gonna make a goose on a spit. Now we've done pig, we've done lamb, we've done turkey, never done a goose. Apparently the biggest thing on a goose is the rendered fat that comes out of it, so we're gonna capture that. And we're gonna put it on a spit. You can see right here, we got a 7/8 inch spit here, which is big enough to hold, I don't know, 60 pounds or 80 pounds, something a little big. And we fill up the bottom with charcoal, and it's got a motor that runs at 13 RPM that slowly cooks whatever meat you're cooking. So we're gonna do this today. I didn't see one on YouTube, so I'm putting one out there, and so you and your family will be able to enjoy a goose for a special occasion. First thing you want to do is you want to start a chimney up. You want to put charcoal in that. So I got a bunch of paper bags and just kind of ripped them up and made these twigs to start up the fire. Then I'm going to load up this side here with charcoal, this side here with charcoal, and the goose is going to be cooking under indirect heat. Light the fire briquettes from the bottom and let the chimney start smoking. Eventually it's going to reach its way to the bottom and you just dump it out and get your charcoal going. Make sure your charcoal is gray, not black, because the black is still the chemicals that are able to get on your food, and you probably don't want to taste that. Yes, it's sunny. I'm wearing flip-flops. It's I live in Florida. Hey guys, so the inside of the goose is not your traditional Scandinavian by any means, since we're like Hispanic and white over here, and are Scandinavian. But I like that music. But we're gonna use organic thyme, organic sage, parsley, celery, carrots. Yeah, I know that's a weird colored carrot. Some garlic, fresh garlic, and some onions, and salt and pepper only on the outside. So we're gonna go ahead and stuff this goose and get it ready to put it on the spit with the spit forks. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try to separate the skin from the goose itself, because we want to put some spices and herbs in here, and we're also going to go ahead and fill the cavity with spices and herbs, and then we're going to go ahead and tie it up either with the cotton butcher string, which you're going to stitch it like a baseball, or you're going to go ahead and use stainless steel, which is my preference of choice. Stainless steel wire, and button it up so all the stuff stays in. One of the biggest things again about the goose is the rendering of the fat, so we're going to try to make it try to capture as much fat as possible. Okay, so we're going to put the mixture that we made with the garlic, the celery, and all the spices. We're going to go ahead and stuff the cavity. As you can see, we put the spit inside, so that way we are able to, once we stuff it, we're able to go ahead and push the turkey onto the forks and then tie it off. And make sure that we put little gloves on these wings. What I call it?
Turkey.
It's not a turkey, it is a goose. So we're gonna put little gloves on this goose so these don't get burned up, because they're delicious. And we're gonna wire it up. And then when we come back, we'll be wired up, ready to put on the spit. My prior life was an aircraft mechanic, so I get this lovely safety wire knowledge. I know how to use it. I even have the correct tools. This is actually a safety wire pliers. Don't worry, it's all clean. But either way, we wire up as much of the duck as we can. I keep calling it turkey. Wire up the goose as much as we can to keep it from flopping around. We don't want it flipping and flopping around, because it's not going to cook right. So everything we do, we need to tie it close and keep everything intact, so when it spins, it cooks very evenly. So we stuffed the goose, salt and peppered the outside, no oil. It's going to render a lot of fat, so we're not going to add anything to it. The charcoals are going, they're both it's both sides of it, so it's indirect heat. And we also have this pan here to catch all the divine drippings from the goose, and we're going to make potatoes with the drippings. Incidentally, it's one of my favorite beers, and this will probably cook for the next 3-4 hours. We're unsure. When we get to that point, we will be we'll check it and make things good. As you can see, we gave it little foil gloves to make that still edible. Tucked in the wings, salt and peppered the outside, and safety wired everything together so nothing flops around. We didn't insert this all the way because there's really no need to. It's the forks are holding it. The back ones are inserted all the way, and it retains the goose. So we'll get back to you and show you how it's cooking and moving along. Again, Merry Christmas from Florida. What we did here is we made a little aluminum hood, because last time we did some poultry, we had a little bit of wind action that was kind of keeping the heat from radiating. You know, it's a work in progress. We'll fix it. But anyway, you can see what we're trying to do is make a little radiant type area so the coals are more effective. And it's a work in progress. Hey guys, so it's been about an hour and a half that this goose has been on the spit. Since my last video, I went ahead and I added more charcoal here and heated this whole area and shared it between these two. As you can see, the center of this grill has no charcoals in it, but it's very hot. It's probably about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably about 350. And this side's even hotter. This is probably about 400. The way you can tell is at about 6 to 8 inches from the grate, or just below your food. If you put your hand under here, you can feel. If you can stand it for 6 seconds, then and then you have to put your hand away. It's about 400 degrees. Again, about the goose fat, we're collecting it here, and I've already done one rendering. I've pulled some, and here it is. It's a lot of fat. It's coming off the goose. Pretty good. And another thing I have to be aware of is these pockets of fat or white bubbles. They have to come off. I should really pat this thing down and dry it off a little bit, so so we don't have any issues with too much fat, because there is such a thing. So at least that's what I read. But we'll come back. For about 2 hours and 15 minutes of cooking time on the spit with the goose, and we're looking at approximately 130. Our goal is going to be 160, and then we take it off and let it rest for 15-20 minutes, let it cook within itself. As you can see, we've already had one rendering of fat. We've got some more. Let's make this luscious stuff, and we're going to go ahead and make some potatoes with it. The coals are they're feeling pretty good. Probably about 300 right here, and probably about a little hotter here. Probably about 350 there. We've got some fresh ones on the side, so this will probably sustain us cooking throughout the rest of the cycle. Yeah, we're getting there, right? All right, so we're almost there. We're about half an hour away from taking this off. And what we did is we went ahead and moved all the coals to the center and removed the pan that we were collecting the goose fat, the grease, and it's delicious looking. We're gonna make potatoes with it. But right now we're letting it go in the center. We're gonna get it hot. It's almost there. I just want to crisp up the skin a little bit more, and then we're in good shape. Good. So we went ahead and pulled the goose. It's ready to go. It's browned. It's beautiful. It's ready to go. The temperature's there. It's going to rest now. It's going to rest for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll cut it and then take a look at this. It's going to be nice and brown. It's a brown meat bird. It's got vegetables on the inside of the skin. There's also vegetables on the inside of the bird itself. The way it's pulled away, it's probably about sitting at about 145 right now. Over here, Cassie's making.
Honey, I'm not really ready for this.
She's making potatoes with the goose fat, and she's never done this before, so this is brand new for her and us. So, and she's doing a great job, right, Cassie?
Yeah. Anyway,
hey,
great.
Cassie.
Great.
Cassie, say hi.
Hi, great.
There it is. There's your goose. Hey, how you guys like the goose? Yes.